Hey guys, what's up? Tom Farinaro from Fun 1071 hanging out with Jack Antonoff of Bleachers. What's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Great performance earlier, dude.
First lobby performance ever.
Yeah, you were saying that. It was the first atrium show for not just Bleachers, but for you.
Yeah, for me in my whole life.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, glad we can crack that egg. So, Bleachers, how did it come about?
I was on tour, and I was kind of like all over the world. I started writing a lot, and I was never able to really write on tour in the past, but for some reason something clicked, and I was writing all the time. And there's obviously a big difference between an album and a bunch of songs. So for a while it was just a bunch of songs, but then it started to take shape into an album.
Cool.
And feel like an album, and at that point I realized, I actually want to make this thing, and that's when I had a giant panic attack. But then it just started being this thing where on buses and planes and hotel rooms, I would just work like crazy anytime I could, and it was recorded like literally all over the world.
Yeah, the song "I Want to Get Better," the single off of "Strange Desire." I remember reading that you said that you wrote it literally all in different countries.
Yeah, I started it in a hotel room in Malaysia. I worked on it in the studio in Stockholm. Worked on it the next day after that in Australia. Finished it in New York. Like it has a very literal, wide perspective. The album.
And when you write, do you really get a good chance to write on the road? I mean, with technology, like with the phone apps and stuff, like
it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Like I'll say, like the piano stuff at the beginning, I Want to Get Better. That was like I recorded it off my phone, like these piano samples, and I put it in MPC and started playing it. So it definitely makes things like way easier. But writing's weird. Like you just don't know when it's going to hit you, and when it does, you have to go with it. So if it does, you have to sacrifice sleeping and eating and things like that.
Did you use the same tone off of the phone, or did you mess around?
I messed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little junkier on the phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be really funny if you actually used that version. What's cool that you've done, you've worked with Taylor Swift. You wrote songs with Sarah Bareilles, Tegan and Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So this project, Bleachers, you wrote really on your own, right?
Yeah.
And then how is it really working with maybe someone and collaborating with someone that's not maybe in your band, like from the outside?
It's cool because I have a lot of ideas that are aesthetically not for me, but I don't want them to die.
Mm-hmm.
So like Brave, for example, like I had this like drum idea and these chords. And I loved it, but it just wasn't my thing. I knew I was never going to do it. And I showed it to Sarah, and then we worked on it, and it became that song. But it's nice to have an outlet where you can try things that aren't going to be that you don't. I don't want things to die on my computer, basically. You know, because I can believe in something and really think something's very important and beautiful, but it just might not be me.
Yeah, well, that's good. And having the option to really kind of give to somebody, that's got to be pretty fulfilling.
It's
too.
really cool. It's fun to work with people and stuff. And then with Bleachers, it's the opposite, where it's like I work on something and it feels so personal, like it has to be mine and it has to go on this album.
The album dropped. It's in stores, iTunes, Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Right? My favorite song off it is "Like a River Runs."
Really?
Cool.
That
Really
song.
cool
That's how I got the name of the band. It was called Bleachers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was just like this like free association. Like had the name something. And Bleachers isn't in the lyrics anywhere. I just like had this feeling, and it was like very suburban and connected to where I was writing from, and then that's how I got the name of the project.
Where did you write that song?
My parents' house in Jersey.
I was gonna say it's funny because when I listen to that song, and some of your stuff sounds retro, 80s. Some of it sounds a little Steel Trainish, and you can hear parts of Fun in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that song really, to me, sounded and screamed Bruce Springsteen. So it's
The
funny that you say
album's
right
very Jersey to me.
Yeah, it really does sound
Well,
like
it came
like
up with like a mixture of Bruce Springsteen and then like Jersey punk scene.
Mm-hmm.
And in many ways, I think they're very similar because they're very like inclusive. They're all about like live shows and energy and like putting it all out there and kind of leaving it all on the stage and really connecting with people. And it both of those things are huge inspirations.
I was on your Bleachers -online. Dude, that's awesome. If to explain what it is, it's essentially an old AOL chat room, but it's just for Bleachers fans.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And you do Q&A in there sometimes?
Yeah,
right?
I just like pop in and out every once in a while and just say hi and take questions, then leave and let people talk amongst themselves. Just trying to like think of cool ideas that cut through the noise.
It definitely stood out. And speaking of noise, you have to actually sign on and listen to the old
amazing.
dial-up, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh God, we're living this again, huh?" It was really cool. And actually, when I was in there, I was talking to a couple of fans, and they want to know when you are going out of the U.S. and you have a UK tour coming up, right?
We just finished in the UK, but we'll go overseas more in the next couple months.
There's requests from Africa and Turkey, so
Good to know.
Just know that.
Okay.
With that, you know.
I'll work on that.
So, Jack, man, it was great talking to you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Yeah.
Brother's hug.
We're close
There you
enough.
go.
We're already
Awesome, dude.
staying this close.